Gratitude, most divine angels, ancestors, spirit guides, my highest light. I place divine protection over me, my home, and the messages. Ashe. Anything that's trying to steer me away from the truth, I banish right now as I speak. Ashe. Hey y'all, how's it going? Happy Sunday. I need to go get that other lighter. 111 as I look up. All right, 121 also as I look up, also as well. So 111 can be very significant. Could be seeing that angel number a lot. This is off and try it again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. Let's get some spiritual messages here. Some Soulful Sunday messages. Someone's name is Danielle. Or Danielle can be significant. The name Danielle can be significant. I'm hearing the name Danielle. Hey, how's it going? Apples can be significant. Someone could be eating apples a lot recently. Oranges also as well. Pineapples is significant also. Something. Someone may have been watching like a NASCAR show or races. Boxing, a boxing match is significant also as well. Hey, how's it going, y'all? A boxing match is significant. Hockey also as well. Hockey is significant. Someone may be watching hockey. Someone's name is Jada. Someone may be getting their kid a pet fish here, a betta fish, for Christmas. Someone may have recently or wanted to take a trip to Orlando Studios is what I'm picking up on also as well here. Someone may have went on a trip to Orlando Studios for Christmas as their kid's Christmas gift. There may have been a recent argument with somebody here, for somebody with their uncle or a family member in particular, but I'm picking up on an uncle. I'm hearing little swimmers also as well. Someone may have recently went to go see their fertility doctor in a sense here. This may have been a male, but there's some sort of fertility doctor here is what I'm picking up on also as well. Someone recently woke up kind of drenched in sweat. Someone's been wasting a lot of time here also as well. Spiritual messages here for the collective. Spiritual messages for the collective at this time. Gratitude, Spirit. Some of you may be wanting to do something different in regards to career path or money in general here. The sun coming out here, happiness, all right? There's some sort of peace here, all right? So someone may be looking into a different job. Here goes that Queen of Wands. Yeah, someone's looking into a different job here. This may be the right direction for you to go for now. This may be something that's kind of temporary, kind of like a year in a sense here, because it's going to direct you elsewhere in a sense. So it's like, it's kind of just one of those things to get you by. Could be like a year and 6 months, but really just kind of picking up on a year, because more towards the end of the year next year, I feel like you're going to have a different sense of something. And it could be like entrepreneurship that you may end up venturing out, starting your own business. But this is something just to kind of get you by. Someone needs to pull back from dealing with certain types of feminines here. Yeah. King of Wands. Someone needs to pull back from King of Wands and Queen of Wands. Okay. Someone needs to pull back from dealing with certain types of women here. It's like your downfall. All right. Seven of Swords here. You're supposed to be in this healing energy or healing, okay? Yeah, like I said, Knight of Pentacles, there's something here that you're going to be building in regards to your finances. Someone deals with like stalker type of women also as well. They're very much stalking. They're very sneaky also as well. Like I said, someone needs to pull back from certain people at this time. Especially just kind of dealing with multiple different women. Or just certain women in particular. Like someone's attracting a particular type of woman. It's like same energy, different body. I'm hearing you haven't learned your lesson yet, okay? You may want to step back now before something, happens to where you don't necessarily want to happen. That could be, getting someone, like I said, swimmers, fertility was picking up. So, getting someone pregnant that you don't necessarily want to get pregnant, or, you know, just drama in general, or just whatever the case may be. But it's just like pulling back from certain things, reevaluating why you're attracting certain types of women. I'm hearing it has something to do with the mother, okay? Aggressive women also as well, or controlling women in a sense here also. Unavailable women also is what I'm picking up on, like just not emotionally available, or just kind of not in their like empress energy, kind of not in that like mothering energy is what I'm picking up on. Not so much in their femininity. It's kind of like masculine clashing with masculine energy. Yeah. But there's some sort of truth here that you're finding out. What's this truth here? Ace of Swords. What's this truth? You're finding out about something. This could be in regards to, yeah, like I said, masculine energy. This keeps being masculine energy a lot. But you found out some sort of truth here about a union, friendships, or a relationship here. Okay, or whether this is, you know, a soulmate partnership. But 222 is very significant. So someone found out some sort of truth here. Could be both. You found out about a soulmate, you know what I'm saying? Or discovering a soulmate energy, yin and yang energy, and also discovering certain things about certain people that are around you. Because this energy is over here. It's like two of pentacles, or two of cups here is over here with the sun, okay? With the truth, clarity, okay? And joy, peace, happiness, all right? And then you have the Queen of Wands over here with this snake and energy. Okay, so it's like two different types of energy. And over here it has like healing energy also as well. So it's like someone's needing to draw back from certain particular people, women in general. You can be seeing black cats. What else here? Yeah, something's starting. Something's new here. Something's about to start. This new start, this new shift. February is going to be looking very different for you. You don't see this, but there's a good tower here that's coming. You got some options that are coming in here also as well, but there's a need for you to go within just to make sure. All right, just to make sure that you're making the right decisions here. I'm blown away. You know I wanna see you with Victoria's Secret with your hair down nice. What is that song? Say yes, say yes, say yes, girl. What is that song? I don't know if that's like okay, Say Yes by Lil Corey. That song could be significant. Let me see if this is the right song. Yeah, this is that song. So Say Yes by Lil Corey can be significant, that song. What else is going on here, Spirit? Yeah, someone needs to come up out of this Knight of Wands energy. That's like, yeah. Very hot and cold energy. Kind of just here for a good time, not for a long time. Okay, someone needs to come up out of that energy. You're being guided. You're being guided here by Page of Wands energy. You're being guided here by your spirit team to get out of this energy. Like I said, or else there's going to be something very impulsive, something that may happen here. Okay, that spirit is going to get in the middle of something. Okay, so it's like, it's one of those things to where when it comes to, you know, lessons, all right, and spirit kind of showing you, or ancestors showing you certain lessons, showing you certain direction, and it's like it keeps getting louder and louder and louder until you actually decide to do something, or until spirit does something for you. Okay, and some, most of the times you don't want that to happen. Okay, 555 is significant, heavy. So there's some sort of lesson here that needs to be learned. Like I said, someone's dealing with particular people here that is not necessarily serving them. You're getting directed down a new path. Let's see. Spiritual messages here for the collective. Yeah, it's divine timing. 222 is very significant. 20, the number 20, it said. So someone could be 20 years old, or someone may be stuck in like their 20s, like era, in a sense. Like you may be an older male, and it's kind of like you're still kind of in that, you know, energy that you was in when you was in your 20s. So this is like something to where certain things are going to start catching up with you. So it's like a new direction is needed. Yeah, healing energy. Healing energy. Home also as well. So this is like getting your home together. Home is also, to me, it's that, it's you, okay? Soul energy. Ascension, yeah. Okay, so it's like getting yourself together, your home together, your spirit, your soul together at this time. Taking some time to heal. Yeah, new beginnings on the bottom of the deck here. Let's see what this is. Yeah, duality. All right, that's that divine feminine, divine masculine energy. So that's that balance. All right, so someone's needing to come more into balance. 444 is significant also as well. Last year could have been significant. I'm hearing Jake Paul. I believe that's the boxer. So something significant about that. I just said something earlier about a boxing match. I believe Jake Paul, I think he went against Anthony Joshua recently. So I don't know, something to be significant about that, okay? Someone may have placed a bet is what I'm hearing. Honoring your energy, okay, is significant. 444 is heavily significant, okay? Emotional release here also as well. Someone could be crying a lot, or you're just kind of needing to purge some energy. And honoring your energy, like I said, this is like someone who is not necessarily, you may not be honoring your energy to the extent that you're supposed to be honoring it, okay? Like, it's like the value is going up here. It's like, where's your value in regards to yourself? Seeing yourself for who you're supposed to be seeing yourself as at this time. Whew. Other messages here, Spirit, for the collective. I'm getting like really tired right now. I don't know if it's because I haven't really ate today. I've been trying to drink tea for a while, just to kind of fast a little bit, but I don't know. It's making me tired. What else is going on? Collective energy, what do they need to know? A message of love, all right? Message of love here. So this is like I said, this is that like spirit team, angels, ancestors. This is where you are getting self-love, okay? Honoring your energy. All right, this is a message being passed on, you know, to, you know, of love in a sense. It's like you may not necessarily have people around you that kind of show you love the way you show love. And what I mean by that is kind of like pouring back into you the way you pour into others. So you may have like this healing energy, okay? Like you have like a healing energy here, and it's like other people don't necessarily help you in a sense. So it's like you may be the person, the healer of the group or the healer of the family, to where you kind of, help people heal in a sense. And that could be just by your words, or just kind of always taking care of people in a sense here. And it's like spirit's ushering you to take care of yourself now, because it's like you may have fell a little bit short in regards to overflowing this cup energy. It's not saying that you can't necessarily help anybody. It's just that it's time to turn that back inward. Okay. Yeah. Submission. Okay. That's submitting to the divine source. All right. Submitting to divine. What else? What else here? For the collective. Reunion of souls. Okay. Like I said, there's someone that may be connected with a soulmate here. Okay. So there's a reunion of souls here. And then message of forgiveness. All right. So you have a message of love and message of forgiveness here. So it's like one of those things to where forgiving yourself at this time and releasing any burdens that are no longer serving you at this time also as well. So it's like if you're holding on to certain resentment in your heart space, and that's, that's something that you got to release in order to come into union with your person. All right. So there's a need for you to open your heart space up, releasing resentment of what the past has done, what things that you have learned in regards to the past. Like I said, that's why you may be attracting certain type of individuals, like relationships around you, that just kind of clash. It's kind of just like head on clashing here. It doesn't necessarily flow. It may flow for a little bit and then it goes back into clash again, because it's not necessarily, it's supposed to be a lesson that you're supposed to be learning in regards to this. Yeah, so there may be a need for you to forgive yourself and the things that you may feel is still kind of burden shame in a sense, or just kind of feeling a little bit guilty of. Heavy on 444. Yeah, you're being guided. You're being guided at this time to reapproach something here. Year of the snake, all right? This year. There's something that you need to shed this year before this year is over, okay? To release. But you're being guided here. Panthers are significant. Black Panther is significant. Cats in general, like I said, black cats are very significant here. Black cats symbolize protection also as well. So, there could be some sort of protection that you're being protected at this time. Okay. Split the deck, they said. Forgiveness again. So we have message of forgiveness, and then we have forgiveness here. So it's like someone needs to forgive themselves for the things that you I'm hearing have not known. Okay, so someone may feel kind of guilty in regards to things that you have not been taught in a sense, like you just didn't know. And it's like, it's okay to just not know, but it's like now you know, so it's like now you can course correct, now you can reapproach things in a different, direction. Because it's like you can't, if you don't know, you don't know. But it's like when you actually do know, that's where that accountability comes in. Because it's like, if you know, but you don't take accountability, then you're not evolving in a sense. So it's like when you actually know that something can be better for you in a sense, that's when you start to change things up here, because and take that accountability. Okay, so someone could be kind of fluctuating with the accountability. It's kind of like you take accountability 1 minute, the next minute you don't, you don't. It's like, which one do you want to do? Like it's one of those things to where when spirit kind of is guiding you in a sense, or just the universe, you're going to get thrown back the whirlwind. Like I said, someone's dealing with people that it's like you're good for a little bit, then you crash. You're good for a little bit, then you crash again, because this is your energy. And that's exactly what's being reflected back to you, is that inconsistency energy. So it's like if you want consistency, if you want, things to shift and change, if you're not liking what's going on the outside of you, you have to turn inward. That's where you honor your energy. And sometimes we don't like to hear certain things, but like I said, this is a message of love. It's not a message to, point the finger, or make anyone feel as if, that they're any less than, or, down you, or whatever case may be. It's like, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like tough love in a sense, like it's like one of those things to where sometimes people don't hear it when it's the most softest things. And anytime it's your spirit, anytime it's, spirituality, anytime it's divine source, it's not going to be forced. It's going to be quiet. It's little whispers to where it's like, hey, You know what I'm saying? This is the direction that you should go. Hey, I think you should do this. Hey, I think you should do this instead. And it's like, it's very quiet. And it's like you have to be in a moment to where you are taking care of yourself in order to hear those still moments, and those quiet moments to where spirit is talking to you. It's not going to be forceful, because it's never going to be forceful until it's actually meant to be forceful. And that's kind of just one of those things to where it's a lesson that's been, meant to be, shown, is when it gets to being forceful. Hey, how's it going, y'all? Yeah, 77 as I look up. So 7 is a high spiritual number, is spirituality. Yeah, like I said, dealing with karmic relationships. Relationships that are meant to learn lessons, not necessarily meant to keep going forward with, okay? Yeah, soon also as well. Something's changing soon. But like I said, these are lessons of karmic relationships, whether that's karmic relationships can be friendships, karmic relationships can be family members, karmic relationships can be, sexual partnerships also as well. With karmic energy. So karmic is meant to learn a lesson and for you to move on, learn that lesson, and start attracting the people that you actually, are meant to attract. Yeah. Your fears are showing back at you. Yeah, message of guidance. All right. So it's like if you've been wanting, certain messages of guidance, you've been praying, to your sources, like, I need guidance. I need some sort of message, to direct me. This is your message of guidance here right now. Okay. There's some sort of fears here. All right. So it's like what I'm picking up on, it's funny because I'm about to post this message that I have, that I recorded yesterday. And Spirit was talking to me about fears and how you're not necessarily fearful. You're not fearful of a new relationship. You're not fearful of a new start. You're not fearful of someone who you think is just kind of better than you or whatever the case may be. You're not necessarily fearful. What it is you may be fearful of your own self, how you show up, because it's like you're not fearful of the forward movement. It's what you have within yourself. That's your fears. Because say for instance, it's like you get a new job, and so in the past you had certain jobs to where you wanted to kind of elevate, or escalate in regards to being a manager, or kind of just go further in the career. And it's like, yourself. So it's like, when you are showing up the way you want to show up, when you are not necessarily, being as dedicated, when you're not necessarily being as committed to whatever it is that you need to be committed to. So that's really what the fear is because you're fearful of yourself not showing up the way that you should show up, instead of showing up the way that you did in the past. That's what it is. That's what the fear is. Every level up needs, has to have some sort of reapproach into something, some sort of different direction. When it comes to level up, it takes consistency, it takes, dedication and hard work in a sense. And it's like, and if you haven't been showing up for yourself into doing that, then it's like, or taking accountability, then that's just something that you continue to fall short on. And it's like, where is that getting you? That's something that you got to really ask yourself, like, where is that getting me at this time? Is me being less accountable for my own, actions, and me kind of pointing the finger, well, if I had this, I'm saying, I would do better. If I did this, then I would do better. If this happened, I would be in a different predicament. No, not really. Really just you kind of taking the accountability and you kind of being more dedicated to what you actually truly want and desire, you would get there. So it's like, it's one of those things to where you really got to take that time, to, reassess some things also as well. Yeah, creating a new identity within yourself, sculpture of self here, okay? Duality again, all right? So balancing that energy, divine feminine, divine masculine. What else is going on here? Clarity messages for the collective at this time. Yeah. Labyrinth of choices here. It says choose wisely. Okay. So there's a need to choose wisely at this time. Decisions shape your path. Amid challenges, stay open to learning as answers reveal your destined journey. All right. Choose the path wisely. You know, what direction you want to go. You know, when it comes to a maze, you know, you can continue to run into certain walls, okay, certain barriers. It takes dedication or your mind or just whatever the case may be to navigate a maze here, to find your way out to the outing. Okay, so it's like someone may be running into the same brick wall. It's like Maze Runner could be significant, the movie Maze Runner, but it's like it's one of those things to where you just gotta navigate your way outside to the open path instead of keeping yourself trapped in the maze. Excuse me, confirmation. Yeah, almost there. It just takes that step. Okay. Someone may have recently had Chinese food. Navigate your way out, because they're showing me like a big explosion. So there's a need to navigate your way out before this explosion happens. Okay? Something may blow up. So navigating yourself out of it before it happens. Because it's like, it's one of those things to where it's like you're not listening. Yeah. See what's real. Okay? Inner vision here. It says here, observe with clarity. True insight lies beyond the surface. Okay? Beyond the surface. Like I said, a lot of things have been very surface level. These karmic relationships with people that you may surround yourself with, very surface level, on the surface. And it's like, you got to see things beyond it. You got to penetrate, deeper. All right? With this inner vision. And yeah, flame of courage. Like I said, something was going to go up in flames. I said I was seeing an explosion. Okay? So it's like, have that courage to take some time to really kind of, pour into yourself and actually have that courage to move forward and do what you want to do here. There's no need to sit in these fears. Everything, when it comes to life in general, okay, everything you've been fearful of, in a sense, starting a new job, back then, in the past, or going to a certain particular school, going from grade school to middle school, going from middle school to high school, starting, on a team, in regards to sports. It's just, fears are always going to be there, in a sense, but it's like, at some point you got to start, stepping, falling, right into your fears. Okay. So that you can conquer them. Okay. Or else you're just going to continue to be trapped. Okay. Breakthrough. Ashe. Exactly. This is that breakthrough. That's that magic opportunity, is what it says here. Magic opportunity. And it says Pathfinder here, and trust your path. All right. Trust the process. It says here, embrace the unexpected. Seize the chance for transformation. All right. Seize the chance for transformation. Embrace the unexpected. All right. Breakthrough. Navigate life's many twists and turns with elegance and resilience here. Okay. Trust your path at this time. I'll get a few more messages and I'm going to get up off of here. I need to get something to eat. I'm hungry. Yeah, joy. Okay. So solar plexus may be significant, working with the color yellow. As well here, balancing that solar plexus. That's courage energy. Okay, so yellow is courage. So that solar plexus can be kind of unbalanced here also as well. Okay. That's willpower also as well. And it's can be tied with fears also, but really root chakra is tied with fears. So you know, root chakra can be significant, you know, reestablishing your root energy, what you're grounded in, okay? Your foundation. Collective messages at this time. Yeah, someone may be grieving here, okay? You may be grieving. Green chakra is significant, which is the heart chakra, okay? So taking care of your heart at this time, that heart space, that healing energy, all right? There's a need for you to do so at this time. If you're grieving, okay? Some of you may have a pet here also as well that may be kind of, you know, picking up on your energy. Bottom of the deck, facade. Yeah, someone's creating their own facade here, but it's like your elder here is trying to navigate you in a sense here. Okay, now exactly navigate you to your destiny, what you're destined to do. And this is like they're coming on their knees, so it's like, you know, to their spirit guides for that wisdom. So it's one of those things to, like I said, surrendering to divine. You know, you don't have to always have the answers, also as well, exactly, discovery, surrendering to divine. So it's, what are you being called to do is what I'm hearing. What are you being called to do at this time? Let's see. What is the collective being called to do at this time? What is the collective being called to do at this time? What is the collective being called to do at this time? Awaken. What is the collective being called to do at this time? It said awakening. Okay? Awakening is the process of discovering your true self. Awakening is the process of discovering your true self, okay? So, you know, taking that time to discover who your true self is. Wake up at this time. You've been asleep, okay? You've been sleeping on yourself. You've been sleep in general, all right? You just kind of been letting just the days go by with, you know, being stuck in certain patterns, you know, that that is not serving you, that you're not necessarily happy with. And it's like, when are you going to make that decision? When are you going to make that choice that you actually want to take a step out on yourself? You know, taking a step out on everybody else but yourself. When do you want to actually make that choice to actually make that discovery? Okay? And actually, you know, awaken to who you truly desire and who you truly desire to be. Because that's where the prosperity lies. All right? That's where prosperity is knowing who your true self is and being in your true energy. Prosperity comes from hard work and love for a love for life, okay? Hard work and love for life. The beginning of this message, I was speaking on consistency and dedication. All right. So that maybe want to be kind of, you know, for me, I like to do kind of words for my month in a sense, or words for my year. And one of the words for this month was dedication. So it's dedicated December, a dedicated December here. So it's like, you know, certain goals that I want to be dedicated to. It doesn't mean that I got to be, you know, finish off my goals, but it's like, let me be dedicated to pouring into my body more. Let me be dedicated into finishing 2 books this month. Let me be dedicated into stretching my body because I worked a job, sit down job for 10 years and my hips are hella tight. And I'm trying to, you know, get that energy out, you know, because we store trauma in our hips. So it's like, you know, I got a lot of, you know, hip pain sometimes because I need to get that energy out of sitting down at the desk for 10 years. So, and one thing, I be beating myself up sometimes because, you know, I'm like, damn, like you do a couple of stretches or you do some stretches for a good, like, you know, month or three weeks or whatever case may be. And you think that pain is going to be completely away. And, you know, that's why I be trying to be patient with myself also as well. I be having to tell myself, you know, just be patient. You know, eventually, you know, you're going to be able to get that energy out. So, you know, sometimes you just got to be patient with yourself. You got to remind yourself also as well, because we're not always going to be perfect, or you know, we may not always be consistent the way that we want ourselves to be consistent, but when you actually want to show up, you'll show up. Okay, one more for the collective. Hope. All right, hope. All right, it says here, hope is the light in the darkness, never extinguish it. All right, so that's that energy of never, hope and faith. Hope is pretty much faith in a sense also as well. So it's like I was saying, it's like you have to remind yourself, you know, to come back to that consistency, to continue to keep the hope, continue to keep the faith. You know, I was just explaining this in regards to, you know, how I felt in regards to me stretching. I was like, you know, me stretching, me, you know, feeling like I'm not getting there because it's 3 weeks or a month or whatever case may be. I was like, but I still have the faith. I still keep my hope, and it's in the fact of, you know, keep going. And it's like, that's where you don't extinguish it, you know, because you have to keep that light, you know, or else you're going to continue to go down that dark path. And it's like, when you don't have any faith, you know, you're kind of just stagnant, you're stuck, you know. And it's like, but when you come across somebody who has faith, they may not show up every day, you know what I'm saying? They may not show up every month, but it's like eventually you're going to start seeing them show up, okay? It's like at least some points of times out of the year, you're going to show up, and then they're going to continue to show up because they're going to see the results, all right? Collaboration. Like I said, someone's supposed to be collaborating here with souls, all right? Soul family. Collaboration achieves greater goals, all right? Soulmate energy, all right? It achieves greater goals. You know, having the right people around you achieves better goals. When you're around certain people that is not meant to be around you, or just kind of not on your level. I don't want to keep always saying not meant to be around you, but that's really what's going on right now. But you know, certain people that are just not on your level, certain people that just don't elevate you, certain people that just are stuck in their same paths. And it's like, if you have an abundant mindset to where it's like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but it's like you just never get to doing it because you're stuck around people that you got to feed into, in a sense, you know, who you got to, these energy vampires, you got to keep, let me teach you this. But it's like, you already know that. It's like you're surpassing this energy that you're surrounding yourself with. And it's like, if I got to keep on telling you over and over, yearly, monthly, whatever the case may be, you're not getting it. And you're just kind of stuck, in a sense. You're stuck in your own ways. And it's like, so I need to get around people that actually are not stuck. So who are you around that you are actually stuck around? Who are you around that they're actually stuck to where it's not necessarily, you know, nourishing you? Who are you around to where they're not necessarily pouring into you, and you continue to keep pouring and pouring and pouring, and you're not receiving anything back? All right. All right, y'all. That was the message, the collective message. I will see you guys some other time. Okay. The replay will be on my page under the live, what's the name? Okay, live tab, if you did miss the message. So it will be posted later on today. And yeah, peace and love, y'all. Take care of yourself. Okay. Have a good one. Bye.